Welcome back to Talk Show EP18. Here we are, the show where we read the news so you don't have to, because frankly, the news has pinned the gas and cut the brake lines. This is also my last episode of 2025, which kind of feels appropriate. Nothing says year in review like economic gaslighting, constitutional mad libs, and comments from people who think America is a personality trait. Let's get into it. In our first segment, the economy is great, actually, according to no one that you can trust. Lutnick, everyone's favorite nonsense man, went on Fox News this week and confidently announced the U.S. economy grew 4.3%. What that means is Americans, all of us, are going to earn 4.3% more money. First of all, no. Second of all, that's not how anything works. That's not how the GDP works. That's not how wages work. That's not how math works. And that's not even how lying is supposed to work. So I want to give a shout out here to one of my favorite internet economists of all time, random Reddit user Lumpy Economics 2021. They broke the numbers down like this. Q1, we shrunk 0.6%. Okay, negative 0.6% growth. Q1. Q2, positive 3.8% growth. All right. Q3, positive 4.3% growth. Quick note, who knows which of these numbers are cooked entirely and which have some truth to them. But the point I want to call out is that for the entire year to average 4.3% in growth, Q4 would have to be a staggering 9.7% in total GDP growth. That would require some really incredible stuff, such as cold fusion, inventing teleportation, monetizing Vibe. So no, you're not about to earn 4.3% more monies. You're about to be told that you should feel like you're earning 4.3% more monies. In our next bit here, let's talk about court filings. This week, Tina Peters' lawyer. Now, quick note, Tina Peters is the election clerk that got in trouble in Colorado. You can read more on that elsewhere. Suffice to say, she got in trouble. So Tina Peters' lawyer argued that George Washington issued pardons to people convicted of state and federal crimes during the Whiskey Rebellion in 1795. Cool. Great. Love that journey. Except, teensy exception, George Washington pardoned federal crimes because the federal government doesn't get to pardon state convictions. That's not a loophole. That's not precedent. That's just the Constitution and how that's supposed to work. You don't get to yell Whiskey Rebellion like it's Beetlejuice and then suddenly the courts like black out and they forget civics. Continuing right along, got some interesting information revealed over the past couple of weeks. I happened to see this video on Reddit, I think 2 or 3 days ago. What has been shared is we've all sort of wondered, right? How does Trump tweet so much? How is he truth socialing at all hours, caps lock, spelling optional, that Adderall energy? Turns out, to no one's surprise, I think, it's not him. Video footage surfaced showing that there's actually a young woman hunched over a keyboard, firing off posts like she's working the night shift at the Reich's social media desk. This sort of explains everything because, as we know, Trump definitely can't read, definitely can't type. He can barely finish a sentence. So, also, why do we keep putting women anywhere near this guy? At this point, it's just like an OSHA violation to put women in the same room as him. Now, all this nonsense being said, there is some interesting, wholesome news from the Chaos Corner. In genuinely delightful news, the New York Post reports that Zoran Mamdani has added Miss Rachel, yes, that Miss Rachel, to his inaugural committee. I absolutely love this. That just sits so right. Oh, that just feels perfect. Miss Rachel somewhat recently caught heat for saying something extremely controversial, like children everywhere should be safe, including, let me just check my notes here, in Gaza. So apparently that was too radical for some people. Oh my gosh, too radical. Keeping children safe everywhere was too radical for someone. Fuck you, 2025. So now Miss Rachel's on the inaugural committee, and honestly, she has better credentials than the entire White House cabinet. Continuing the trend of economic speak, let's talk a little bit about the new Orwellian nightmare, the jobless boom. Oh yeah. So according to Yahoo Finance, we're now experiencing something quite literally called a jobless boom. What does that mean? Well, it means that the economy is booming. Supposedly, numbers are being cooked, we don't know. So supposedly the economy is booming, but jobs are disappearing. Everyone is supposedly fine, don't ask questions. If you're confused, That's the feature. That's not a bug. You're supposed to be confused. Anyway, it's definitely some scary stuff to think about a jobless boom and what that means for the future, especially as AI replaces people's ability to critical think. In our main story tonight, Trump's immigration nightmare becomes reality. Now, unfortunately, this is bad news. There's an excellent article I'll link in the comments from the New Republic. Please read it if you have a chance. They're one of the few websites that let you read articles without hiding them behind 17 pop-ups, 3 cookies, and some sort of spiritual test of patience. Here's the short version of the story. Trump's immigration policies are not hypothetical. Experts agree, unfortunately, it's going to get worse before it gets better. Okay? We're dealing with things like detentions. We're dealing with deportations. Families are being ripped apart. Legal chaos is just being sort of dressed up as law and order. Kristi Noem apparently is associated with some sort of firm that was funneled an enormous hundreds of millions of dollars government contract. Great. All fine. And she's blowing through that money at an incredible rate. Basically, Trump has his Gestapo police force piloted by Nazi Barbie. And then right on cue, Turning Point USA recently hosted some sort of event that I absolutely will never ever watch since it's filled with racism and hatred. So they had their racist hatred event, and in the racist hatred event, they openly called for the rounding up of trans people. Not dog whistles, not euphemisms, full-on Nazi Germany with merch. And if that made your stomach drop, good. That means your humanity is still installed. Vote like your life depends on it. Next on the docket, oh yeah, AI will apparently fix everything. Whoopsie daisy. Salesforce recently fired thousands of workers in an attempt to replace them mostly with AI. Turns out AI cannot do everything, especially not the things that humans could do when things break or when clients panic or reality just gets weird. So who could have seen this coming? Everyone. Literally everyone. You saw it coming. I saw it coming. Everyone but the CEOs who have their AI blinders on and can only see the AI bubble. Since this is the last talk show of 2025, I thought we might do something a little special, something a little fun at the end of it. Read some of your comments. In particular, I seem to have struck a few haters, seem to have found my name on a list, as I like to joke about. Got some haters in the chat, so let's read some of the fun things that they've said. Our first comment, Zachariah Barber, 5794, says he thanks God every day that he's an American and not a Democrat. Thanks, Zach. Appreciate that very much. Just a reminder, America is a country, not a political party. And for the record, I also thank God every day that you are not a Democrat. Here we go with oi-u9j informing us that only the Democrats are mentioned in the Epstein files. First of all, I just want to thank you for the absolutely incredible wordplay. Second, incorrect. There are a metric shitload of mentions of Donald Trump. You can ask ChatGPT, you could ask Google, Gemini, Perplexity. Any of the AIs will agree that you are incorrect. Now, of course, not to be outdone, oi had much more to say, accusing me, of all people, of spreading a conspiracy by saying Lutnick lived next door to Epstein. My guy, buddy. That came directly from Fox News. Lutnick was on Fox and said that. You didn't fact check me. You just vibed incorrectly. Really good try, though. I appreciate that. Just thanks for stopping by. Any feedback, bad feedback, it's all great. And then last but not least, oh yeah, my personal favorite, Leo Girardi, who took the time to write, "You seem to have the ability to say, 'I'm gay,' without actually saying, 'I'm gay.' Otherwise, you didn't say much." Honestly, gay jokes are pretty weak these days, but this wasn't even a good gay joke, right? You had so many other options instead of just going for the easy peasy gay joke. Come on. You could have said, "Tino, you look like Eric Bana fucked Tom Welling and microwaved the baby on high." You could have said, "Tino, your voice literally sounds like someone put a microphone up to a feral pig's butt." Now that's craftsmanship right there. Anyways, thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you have a spectacular rest of 2025. I heard in the news somewhere 2025 was described as relentless. That feels like the perfect word to sum up the onslaught that has been this year. I hope that you can relax a little bit for the next week or so. 2026 is right around the corner, and I look forward to buckling the fuck up for it together. We'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.